topics covered in this lecture. In this video lecture, you will learn about subtotal function. In this video tutorial, we shall learn how to use the subtotal function. Subtotal function is a special type of function. Using subtotal function, you can find out the subtotal of a range. You can select also action type using the subtotal function. Let's make the concept clear with an example. Look at this worksheet. This worksheet shows the sales of a company according to year and region. These sales records are from year 2007. These sales records are from 2008. These sales are from 2009. And these sales are from 2010. We shall find out the subtotal of sales according to year. 2007 subtotal, 2008, 2009 and 2010 subtotal. Click on this cell and type equal sign. You know already, equal sign starts the formula in a cell. Now type sub. You see the subtotal function is in the drop-down list. Select the function. You see the syntax of the function is here and a new drop-down list appears here. In total, 22 items are in this drop-down list. You see 1 is for average and 101 is also for average. There is a difference between these two averages. We shall clarify it later. 2 is for count, 102 is also for count, 9 is for sum, 109 is also for sum. I double click on 9, which refers to sum function. Type comma. You see in the syntax, next argument is reference 1. This is actually cell reference. I select these 3 cells. You see the cell range C2 to C4 appears in the formula. I press return. You see the sum of these cells appear in the cell. Sum of 15,000, 13,000 and 14,000 is 42,000. I copy the cell formula and paste the formula in the 2008 subtotal cell, 2009 subtotal cell, 2010 subtotal cell. The formula is copied and the subtotal of year 2008, 2009 and 2010 are displaying in these cells. Now click on this 2007 average cell, type equal sign, type sub, double click again on subtotal function. This time select 1. 1 is for average. Input a comma, then select the range, press return. You see the average of the selected cells are showing. I copy the formula again, select 2008, 2009 and 2010 cells where I shall input the formula. I just press return. The formula is pasted to all the cells. You see the cells are showing the averages. 42,000 divided by 3 is 14,000. 36,000 divided by 3 is 12,000. 63,000 divided by 3 is 21,000. And 60,000 divided by 3 is 20,000. Let's now discuss how the subtotal function is actually working in the formula. I select the cell where I have used the subtotal function at first. Look at the formula bar. Numeric value 9 is actually referring the sum function. The sum action is working on this cell range, cells C2 to C4. So this subtotal function is actually calculating the sum of this range and then showing the result in the cell. Select this cell and look at the formula bar. Numeric value 1 in the function is actually referring to the average function and the average action is working on this range. So this subtotal function is actually calculating the average of this range and showing the average in the cell. Let's now find out the grand total of cells. I click on this cell, input equal sign, type sub, double click subtotal. Oops. I wrongly selected substitute function. Just press escape. Again input equal sign, type sub, double click on subtotal, select numeric value 9 again. 9 refers to sum function. Input comma. This time I select all these cells. Press return. You see the grand total is 201,000. Click on the formula bar. Notice very carefully. This subtotal function is calculating the sum of all these cells except the cells that have subtotal functions. These and these cells are using subtotal functions. So these cells are excluded when subtotal function calculates the sum of these range. Let's find out the grand total using the straight sum function in this cell. I enter the sum function and select the same range. Press return. You see, this time sum is double of what we get using the subtotal function. The reason is sum function does not exclude the cells that have subtotal functions. So the number is double. This is a very important thing, so remember it very well. Let's now discuss the difference between numeric value 1, which refers to average function, and numeric value 101, which also refers to average function. Numeric value 9, which refers to sum function, and numeric value 109, which also refers to sum function, and so on. Select rows 14, 15, 16 and 17, right click and then select hide command from the list. You see, grand total is still showing 2/1000s, but some rows are hidden. I modify the formula and use 109 instead of 9 and press return. You see, this time grand total is showing 141,000. So the difference is when you use only 9 to calculate the sum of a range, it counts the hidden rows or columns. But if you use 109 to calculate the sum of a range, it does not include the hidden rows or columns. I unhide the row one by one. You see, the grand total is increasing in values. When all the rows are unhidden, grand total is again 201,000. It is very important to understand the concept of subtotal function.